Okay, so Jiri Prochazka is fighting Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight title. Why is it vacant, I hear you ask? Well, Jiri Prochazka beat Glover Teixeira in a very close fight to win the title, but then he suffered a really serious shoulder injury and he vacated the title to avoid holding up the division. Jan Blachowicz then fought Magomed Ankalaev for the vacant title, but this ended in a draw, so the title was still vacant. Glover Teixeira then fights Jamal Hill for the vacant title. Jamal Hill then dominates Glover Teixeira, wins the title, to then also vacate the title due to an injury. Like, come on! What is up with the light heavyweight champions always getting injured? It's kinda crazy. But anyway, Jiri Prochazka is now fighting Alex Pereira for the vacant title. And I think this is quite an interesting fight, as both fighters are actually former champions fighting for this belt. Jiri, as we said, was the light heavyweight champion before he got injured, and Alex Pereira, we see that he was the middleweight champion when he beat Adesanya. But who wins? Let's look at the pros and cons of each fighter. So, starting with Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka's pros. This guy is the former light heavyweight champion, and he wants his belt back. The man never actually lost his title. He vacated it due to an injury, and we've seen that he's hungry and he wants it back. He even sent some videos to Jamal Hill, which I'm sure you've all seen, about how he's coming for his title. Guys, Jiri Prochazka also has experience at light heavyweight. Now, we know that Alex Pereira does as well from his fight with Jan Blachowicz, but Jiri Prochazka has actually always ended his other fights in KOs and never saw it into a later round. So he has experience in the 5 rounds at light heavyweight, while Alex Pereira only at middleweight. The man has grit. Seriously, Jiri Prochazka has serious grit. We saw this against his fight in Glover Teixeira. Jiri got rocked and recovered, but he kept fighting even when it got so hard. As well, the man's striking is unpredictable. You never know what's coming. On top of that, not only is it unpredictable, but guys, his striking is so good because it's so unpredictable. I'm sure you've seen the spinning back elbow he KO'd Dominic Reyes with. That was astounding. And guys, Jiri Prochazka has super cool hair. Like, just check that out. That's some real samurai stuff right there. But on a more serious note, let's check out Jiri Prochazka's cons. So, Jiri Prochazka is coming off an injury. We don't know how this will affect him. Could it be career altering? I don't think so, but we'll see what happens. The man hasn't fought in close to a year. Could we see some ring rust? We also don't know how his rehab went over the past year. Is he ready for a 5-round title fight with that shoulder? Hopefully. And as well, while his striking offense is great, there's very little defense. Jiri Prochazka in his fights always has his chin exposed. Even Glover Teixeira rocked him a few times, and he was close to finishing with a few shots. And Glover Teixeira is not a striker. And while it was a close fight, after rewatching it, I felt he was actually losing the fight up until he submitted Glover. And as well, Glover trains with Alex. It's not good if your opponent is training with a guy who almost beat you. And last but not least, Jiri's cardio. Even though he has experience in the 5 rounds at light heavyweight, you could see him getting tired in those last few rounds against Glover. Hopefully he's learned from his 5-round experience and will improve his cardio, because his wild and unpredictable striking seemed to have zapped his cardio when it got to the later championship rounds. But anyway, now, the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Pereira. So, his pros. His striking defense is a lot better than Jiri Prochazka's. and he has the offense to match it. Whenever we think of Alex Pereira, he finds chins, and Jiri's chin is exposed. We saw Alex find Israel Adesanya's chin, and Israel Adesanya, his striking defense is a lot better than Jiri Prochazka's. So I think Alex could find that chin. Alex as well has been way more active. He had 2 fights with Adesanya and 1 with Jan Blachowicz since Jiri Prochazka. So Alex, there's no chance of him having ring rust. And as well, not only that, he's been fighting the top guys. Israel Adesanya was a really dominant champion before Alex beat him. And Jan Blachowicz beat Israel Adesanya. And Jan, even though he's older, he's still one of the top guys at light heavyweight. As well, guys, this weight cut is so much easier for Alex. You could see that cutting to 185 was really rough on him. You could see this not only at the weigh-ins, but whenever he got knocked out by Adesanya. It's likely that this could have been due to how dehydrated he was trying to make 185. It's clear that Alex is much more of a 205er than a 185er. As well, you could see a real improvement in his grappling when he fought Jan Blachowicz. Not only had his takedown defense really improved, but his offensive grappling was actually much better, which to me was a big surprise. He even tried to get a guillotine in round 1 against Jan Blachowicz. Again, why is his grappling improving? He's training with Glover, a very good grappler who, once again, he almost beat Jiri Prochazka if it wasn't for that rear naked choke at the last minute. But anyway, let's check out Alex's cons. I couldn't really think of that many, to be honest, for this fight, because I can see it being a striking fight, but he has only had 1 fight at light heavyweight in the UFC. Could this lack of experience at light heavyweight affect him? That's the thing. I'm not sure. He does have experience fighting light heavyweights in kickboxing, but that's not MMA. He doesn't seem to hit as hard at light heavyweight. Jan Blachowicz seemed to take Alex's shots very well, and he kept coming forward in the fight. Will he have the same knockout power at 185? I don't think he will. Whenever we look at what Alex did to Sean Strickland, out cold, and he rocked Israel Adesanya, Jan really didn't seem too bothered by his shots compared to those guys. But anyway, I can see this fight being really close, but since I think this fight is likely to be a pure striking match, for the most part anyway, I really gotta go with Alex Pereira in this fight. I think that the main reason is really because of his striking defense. His striking defense just matching his offense. Like, don't get me wrong, Jiri Prochazka has great striking that I've talked about. His unpredictable, wild, crazy good striking. But you have to remember that Alex, his defense, he's always protecting himself. And he's always going to be able to find that chin of Jiri, since it's always exposed. And if Jiri's chin is exposed, I can really see Alex just finding it. But yeah, not only can he defend against Jiri, if he can't, I will say this, if he can't defend against Jiri's unpredictability, and Jiri can hit Alex with some of those insane shots that not only no one could have seen coming. Like, I'm really thinking about the not Alex Pereira, but whenever you think back to the Dominic Reyes fight, that elbow was insane. That, to me, could have been like knockout of the year stuff. But because of that, I think that Jiri can win, but it really depends if he can hit Alex with some of that unpredictable striking at the perfect moment if Alex lets his guard down. But that's what I think will happen in Alex versus Jiri.